This is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Monday the 29th of March. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against US dollar and the hourly candlesticks. Mixed start to the day here. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 55,730 to take a run at the first major resistance level, so at 56,659. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 56,500 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and resistance at 57,000 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin test resistance at 58,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 57,539. Fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 54,850 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of sub 54s and the second major support level at 53,921. Looking at the MACDs, got a narrowing of the bearish histograms, so need to keep an eye on that. We could see a bullish cross. On the EMAs, the 50 has pulled further away from the 200 and the 100, suggesting further upside through the morning. To keep through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 55,730 and break back through to 56,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Better to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Ethereum against US dollar, relatively bullish start to the day. Going to need to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 1692 to take a run at the first major resistance level, so at 1721. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 1700s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 1725.71 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum test resistance at 1800 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1753. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 1657 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should steer clear of sub 1600s. Second major support level at 1628 should limit the downside. On the EMAs, slight narrowing of the bearish histograms, but nothing conclusive through the early part of the morning, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, so again inconclusive, so keep through the early part of the day, move through the pivot at 1692 and back through to 1700 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Litecoin against US dollar, slightly bearish start to the day here. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fallback through the pivot at 184 to take a run at the first major resistance level, so at 188. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high that was at 187.3. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 190 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin test resistance at the 23.6% fib at 195 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 191. Fallback through the pivot will bring the first major support level 180 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer well clear of 170s. Second major support level 177 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, got a narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day. Could see a possible bullish cross, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, the 50 holding its ground against the 100, with the 200 closing in on the 100 and the 50, so suggestive of possible bullish cross. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 184 and break back through to 186 levels and yesterday's high 187.3 to bring resistance levels into play. Better to do that and support levels will come into play. When you're looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, bullish start to the day here. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the pivot at 0.5492 to take a run at the first major resistance level, saying 0.5584. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through this morning's high. It was at 0.55515. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.56 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, you could see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.57 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.5692. Fallback through the pivot, we're bringing the first major support level at 0.5384 and the 23.6% fib at 0.5320 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of the second major support level at 0.5292. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish cross at the start of the day supporting this early morning upside. On the EMA, the 50 has moved away marginally from the 100 and the 200, also a bullish indicator. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fallback through the pivot at 0.5492 and break out from the morning high 0.55515 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play.